I really started it I started thinking about the idea at the time of the financial crisis and when I was making my last film called The Queen of Versailles. And at that point, I started to think that maybe the hundreds of stories that I had photographed since the 90s about subjects as diverse as materialism, celebrity, consumerism, the way these values have been exported abroad, media, body image, the commodification of the female body, that in a way, all of these subjects I thought might be connected and might tell a bigger story about how we've changed as a culture. I started to think about the thing about the subjects in Generation Wealth is they are incredibly diverse. And one thing I was really looking for was the commonalities among people from completely diverse backgrounds. So the very rich, the 1%, have a role in this book and this show because they're the people in a way whose images the rest of us are kind of being influenced by, affected by, making to feel less than by, and then aspiring to. So there's a whole part about the very rich that includes Florian Home, a hedge fund banker that's made over $800 million and then gets indicted by the FBI for white-collar crime, a pump and dump scheme, and has a complete fall where he loses everything. Example, the photograph of the Beverly Hills High Senior Ditch Day that's on the cover of my first book, Fast Forward, that kind of looks like the perfect California dream, convertibles, money, beautiful bodies. And yet Mijanu, who's in the foreground of that picture, talks about how hard it was and that she actually wasn't rich, but in a way her beauty and her body was a kind of leverage point, a kind of currency that allowed her to be in that world, and what the cost was for her. And so I think in a way in the voices, it's a kind of unexpected part of the story that actually deepens the photograph. which was a 5-year project about how the body has become the primary expression of identity for women. I didn't go into it as a feminist, but I came out the other side. And I think with Generation Wealth, it becomes that much more devastating, that the commodification of women's bodies in Generation Wealth is how my work on gender connected to the work on consumerism, that I realized that in a way the commodification of the human body was the ultimate sacrifice and degradation and consequence and cost of capitalism, and that for women this is kind of part of our daily currency. And so you see from little girls playing an innocent game of dress up to women who become sex workers, that there's a kind of continuum, and that it's to aging women and the kind of draconian practices that women have to do to retain their value. That what you